Hi, this is Angela Skurtu with St. Louis Marriage Therapy. You can find me at www.therapistinstlouis.com. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how to build trust sexually. So, I don't know if you'll realize this, but pretty much every circumstance that you share with your partner sexually is an opportunity to build trust or break trust or lose trust. So I want to just talk about boundaries here. So every person, I'm noticing my hair, every person in the world has these boundaries that are in their heart and how they feel kind of either connected or disconnected from their body. So for example, let's just talk about a basic thing, like say you're walking in your kitchen and somebody touches you on the arm. If your boundary is that you're okay with, on a regular basis, somebody touching you on the arm, then that's probably not going to do much. You'll be fine. But if you're the kind of person that you're kind of closed in and it feels like a touch that you're not ready for will like mess you up, then that same touch for a person with a tighter boundary on the arm might like scare them, break them, make them feel kind of like you don't respect me. And so why it's super important for couples to talk about boundaries wherever they are is that you could accidentally be breaking a little trust there by touching somebody without their awareness, without their permission, right? And so part of what you have to do to start building trust with your partner is just talk about, on a day-to-day basis, what are the types of touches that you are open to, that you feel are like, these are cool, I'm not going to respond bad or good to them, they're neutral to me. But then when does it cross over into a more, like, I need to know that that's coming kind of touch, or I need to be built into this kind of touch, right? So for some people who have a trauma history, they need to know something's coming. Like for them, even a hug, a basic hug, it'd be better if you come at them from the front. Be like, hey, can I have a hug? Like actually ask. So you don't even just take it, you ask. And when you ask and they have the opportunity to say yes, then that helps them to choose consciously to hug you and feel that experience and feel the trust building that happens as a result of somebody asking for consent for something. All right. Now, not everybody has a trauma history. Some people, so I'm not saying that it's weird or not weird to have that. I'm just saying I know that sometimes a trauma history can make you a little more jumpy towards touch. Okay. But there are other people who their basic touch they're cool with could be, you could hold my hand anytime. You could probably kiss me on the cheek anytime. You can come and hug me behind my belly anytime. Like where somebody comes up behind a dish, like while they're doing dishwashes and holds belly. But like you have to have a conversation about that. Like where are the touches day to day that are comfortable? But now here's where you could break trust or like mess with it a little bit is say you come up behind that person and they're really not ready for their breasts to be touched or their chest, whoever. And if you suddenly touch them and they're kind of not prepared for that, that can feel kind of like a boundary crossing. I call these microaggressions. So a microaggression is an unintentional boundary crossing, right? And most people are not trying to, well, that's the point of the microaggression. Nobody's trying to do anything to harm anybody. It's kind of like, oh, I didn't realize that was a boundary and you cross it, right? And so when you do this kind of microaggression sexually to somebody, they'll feel uncomfortable, but they'll also know logically you didn't mean to do it. So sometimes they'll just push it away and be like, it's not a big deal, whatever. But like I would actually suggest you guys instead like listen to that part of your body. Oh, why does this feel uncomfortable? What is it about this that makes it feel uncomfortable? Because it's actually better than to then go and have a conversation about, I just don't know if I'm cool with just having my boobs touched willy-nilly. Like I think if I'm prepared for it or if I know that that's what's about to happen, then it's a little easier for me. Or I think it depends on, for people it can be if it's public or private. It could, like there's a lot of factors that can depend on whether getting your breast touched would feel an okay or not okay thing. And to build trust, you have conversations about that. Like, actually, I don't know why, but when I'm in the dishes, I'm just not in a boob touching kind of mood. But you do that same thing as we're like sitting on the couch and we've been cuddling and rubbing for a while, and then you kind of graze my breast, then it would be a completely different experience. And so if that's how you feel, then it's better to actually put that out there and explain that, like this is what happens in my body. And what I want you to become aware of here is that to even have these boundaries, you have to develop a body awareness, basically, of yourself. So you can't expect a partner to know where your boundaries are because, well, we're not in each other's bodies. We're just not. But if you don't pay attention and start learning, oh, where is that boundary? How does that feel? Why do I like this one way versus another? Then it's very hard to communicate that to a partner. And then what happens is these unintentional trust boundaries get broken over time. So I'm going to continue this on another video because this is definitely a two-parter. So you've reached, this is Angela Skurtu with St. Louis Marriage Therapy, and this is www.therapistintlouis.com. Thank you.